Hello, it's Geeks Assemble time, and I'm joined as always by Susan here. And this week we are discussing a Disney production of a Star Wars franchise, and it's the new series called The Acolyte, an eight-part series which aired recently, 100 years before the Empire rose. So we'll go over to Susan for her opening thoughts on the Acolyte.
All right. Well, I was expecting it to be a hell of a lot more Sithy than it was. It was there was a little Sithy stuff going on, but there was a hell of a lot of Jedi stuff going on. Jedi stuff. Anyway, it was uh the cast was amazing. I mean, Carrie-Anne Moss, but Trinity. I mean, really, that's pretty badass. And Amandla Stenberg, she was the the twin or the same person, the genetic duplication of the same person, um, with two different names, May and Osha. And this is, uh, in some ways, this becomes an intellectual activity of what is it, nature or nurture? That kind of dichotomy. And so that was a good part of it. And then like Manny Jacinto plays a new Sith Lord, who was interesting. But there was a hell of a lot more uh, Jedi's than there was Sith. But you know, there was one reveal at the very end, which sort of was like, "Wow, I recognize that guy. I know who they're talking about right there. Look at that! Look at that guy! That guy in the shadow over there. That's got to be him." And spoilers, that's our Darth Plagueis, the our Emperor Palpatine's you know, Sith Lord, Sith trainer. Anyway, fun. Fun to see his face, or part of his face anyway. Enough so that you knew who the hell it was. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was, enjoyable overall, but they really hyped it as something with the rings and everything. Like there was a lot of like imagery and stuff that they were trying to focus in on the darkness, on how on what the dark side of the force. I mean, we've seen a lot of light side of the force stuff, and then we started seeing this the dark side magic of these witches, and the dark side of these characters. And yeah, so that was really but there, it could have been so much more. It could have really talked about like the fear and what the fear looked like, and the anger and what the anger looked like, and what and just that one moment where she puts on her on the helmet, that becomes a real sort of, that's when it starts to feel right. But the other than that, it really didn't feel all that dark, scary, angry, bloody, rage filled. Didn't feel like, like the Sith were actually full of that dark side magic. It was like these witches were. And that's my opening thoughts. Back over to you, Lee. What were
Yeah,
your opening thoughts?
I agree with you. We were promised we will delve into the Sith, the law of the Sith, and how it all began, and we didn't really get that. As you said, there was more Jedi. It was a hit list. She was out to kill the Jedi Masters.
Uh-huh.
I've got to say though, I was really disappointed in the acting of quite a few of the actors. Was rather wooden. Um, you've mentioned what's her name from The Matrix?
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Ramos. Yeah. I can't say anything bad about her because she is a good actress. I was shocked at what happened to the character. Episode 1, what happened to her character?
I
I
know. Oh
thought
my
no,
God.
but then we see more of her in flashbacks. But some of the acting, was it the Jedi Soul? Um, his acting was awful. I'm sorry to say.
He was
Um,
played by Ling Jung Jae.
yeah, he's more famous for the Squid Games.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah. So, and the actress who I can't remember her name, but the Green Jedi, this green skinned, bald headed. I can't remember her name, but god awful actress. Um, when she was on the screen, you just cringed.
So like I think that you're talking about, was it Jackie?
It was the one
Oh,
who Sol,
Venestra.
it was one who yeah, it was the one who Sol reported to. Uh, and she was the one who lied about it all at the end, covered it up. I think the only actor and the character I was really interested in was the Sith Master, just known as the Stranger, who sort of fooled everyone in thinking he was a bumbling um, like smuggler to begin with,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the big reveal he was the big bad.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought, yeah, that is a great character, and luckily they didn't kill him off in this. So, but there's no sign of a second season coming yet. Um, yeah, that was the only character what stood out for me. I thought, yeah, that's a great. They need to round that off more, and delve more into that character.
Yeah.
Um, they say that. I mean, he having his own helmet, as you say, to protect himself from the Jedi man, um, which sort of looked like he was grinning. But he was played by Manny
Jacinto.
Jacinto. Yeah, that was good acting in that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was for me. It didn't live up to what they promised us.
Mhm.
I thought it'd be going dark, quite gothy. Going into the Sith thing, but no, it was more of the lighter side, wasn't it? It was, and
It
I was a
was.
bit,
It was like, how do you combat this dark magic, and how do you combat
yeah,
this virgins, and how do you I mean, another virgins in the Force. I mean, the
yeah,
last one we had was Anakin, and then there was this, and then how do you combat these twins, or these people, these two of the same people, you know. I agree. Go on.
yeah. No, it was just. I think it was the story wasn't complicated. It was a simple story.
Hmm.
You know,
Really?
these Jedi Masters were being assassinated. We've
Mhm.
got to find out who it is. And then the simple get out of jail card was twins. And I thought, well, that's a simple solution. Yeah, so she's not done it. The other one has. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't live up to the hype. We did get a Jedi Wookiee though.
I know that was pretty fun.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. And you know, I love that little tracker guy. You know, we in the U.S. have this CBS show right now called Tracker,
Yeah,
and it's all about a guy who finds people who are lost.
yeah.
And that little guy was doing that kind of work. I mean, it was just like watching Tracker with this little guy. It was fun.
Well, the, he was a yeah, and say he survived. So if there's a second season, he might be in it. Um, I've got to ask because you're more of an aficionado on Star Wars than I am. Was they trying to say that the Force was sort of created by the coven of witches
No,
because they created those two girls? Because I know the Jedi was already there. There was no sort of Sith. There was no League of Sith, was there really there?
not at that time. That there was a whole Sith Empire though before.
Yeah. So is the dark side? I meant to say created by the witches.
No, but see that's where I was like hung up on this because um honestly the witches who created the virgins in the forest, which is those two, the they were um they were actually using it more than the stranger than Quila or whatever his name is. Um, and so you know it is confusing. You know who has more power.
Hmm.
These uh, these witches. It was very much like those ladies in Dathomir who used the green glowy force. These ones use the black like like smoky force.
Hmm. Yeah, I was
And
a bit.
there's and the other thing is you know I mean I like the fact that these Sith lords, these Sith, May and Manny um were able to overcome these Jedi because you know that's what that is the basis of the training that you historically hear about in the ranks of the Sith is that you're the the Jedi are their specialty is fighting Sith, and the Sith their specialty is killing Jedi. And so, you know, I think that Plagueis, I think that was really enjoyable watching. I mean, Plagueis could have been involved with the birth of those two girls because he was, you know, the story that Palpatine told about, you know, how Plagueis was able to manipulate the midichlorians to create life.
Hmm.
I think that may have been one of the things, like, you know, that happened. And I just, you know, but that's still like you didn't see these women you know, pregnant with dark side force babies. You didn't see a whole bunch of. It would have been really badass here, and this is where, if you want to go the route of empowering a bunch of women, you can make like half of them pregnant, and and they're still fighting badass all the way through their pregnancy. You know, that puts the onus on the woman to be able to manage both the physical body and the external situation. And I mean, I think that Leslie Headland kind of didn't do enough with that. But if these guys were, if it was only Plagueis making those two girls, and that's the only girls, I mean, what the hell?
Mm.
I mean,
It was a bit. It was a bit. Well, I got a little bit confused on that part. I thought,
I
right,
don't either. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
it
have
was
any
good.
answers.
I mean, it was good to see um, Manny Jacinto when he was revealed as the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
or is he the bad guy? Could be the good guy, which way you look at it. Um, his character, because I don't think I've ever seen a Sith or a Jedi fly
Mm-hmm.
before. Not in the movies, I don't think. I know they've jumped high, done somersaults and landed and stuff like that, but he was like literally floating down in certain scenes, and I thought,
Mm-hmm.
wow, he can fly.
Yeah.
Uh, what a badass!
Yeah. Yeah. He was.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was quite disappointed with this series, but I do hope there is a second season just to tie all the ends up and give us a better season, shall we say,
Yeah.
with more Sith.
More Sith.
That's what I wanted.
We don't.
I
We
always,
don't need any
always
more. We
root
don't need any more witch magic. We don't need any more uh overpowered Jedi. I know that they revealed Yoda at the very end, but we don't need any more of that, because we've got that in the
we-
whole
we've
Skywalker
got
saga.
tons and tons of it.
Yeah.
We need the back history of the Sith,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I thought this would be.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So maybe they've got the second
And
season.
and and I know that I thought maybe that this would be, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, this is going to be so dark and so, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be, I mean, terrible in a good way.
Yeah,
It's going to be like a horror show. It's going to be something really psychologically wounding, and
mm,
how the dark side can get inside of you. And I mean,
that's what I wanted.
in order to like I loved it in the animated series where dark side Yoda fights light side Yoda. That was that was badass. I mean, you could see that that the Force could create a place where it's super super violent and super weird and super and I just thought that was like that was what this was gonna be.
Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I, it's not. It's not often that you take notice of well, when the episodes ended and the credits roll. But one of the episodes, I can't remember which one it was, they played out with a pop song,
I know.
and I thought, what? I'm sorry, but it's a Star Wars thing. You don't play out with a modern day pop song.
Exactly.
And I think, what's going on?
I know.
I thought that just didn't go
You gotta
with.
have orchestral
John Williams,
release.
stuff like that. You know,
Anything. I mean, even if it's written by somebody else, it's got to be orchestral.
you don't have
I agree.
a pop song sung by, I don't know. I don't know who it was.
No,
But
neither do I.
I thought, someone's really misjudged this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, whoever greenlit that part, I don't know. But
Agreed.
yeah, I mean the action sequences were great. You know, the saber fights.
Right?
Yeah, it was. I say it was great to see a Wookiee wielding a lightsaber. We didn't get enough of that.
Didn't
I
get
think they
enough
could
of that. And in the first episode they had May and Osha had those push knives.
yeah,
I've never seen anybody use those. I'd never seen them until I've just watched another show and they were talking about these push knives and they have like a grip that looks like this and then they
mhm,
have that knife part that comes down here. In a way, they look like a butt plug if you turn it around the other way and point it upwards. But they those push knives are such weird weaponry, and like I mean, it takes kind of nestling it in your fingers and jabbing it into somebody. So it's almost like a punching thing. It's almost like brass knuckles in a way.
yeah,
And I was like, that's the weirdest weaponry I've ever seen. And they both had him, both
yeah,
May and Osha. So I don't know why that was. And then, I thought May was overpowered. When I first saw that when that first couple episodes, she seemed like so overpowered, and Osha seemed like a complete wussy. And I didn't know why that was. I mean, if they're twins, shouldn't there be balance there? If they're twins, shouldn't they have had? So that's why I was like, this has got to be that that question of nature and nurture. And then I really struggled with the criminal underusage of Trinity of Carrie Ann Moss.
yeah.
You know, that chick can fucking fight. She can fly. She can she can get inside your head. She she scared me the first time I watched Matrix, and I just knew that she could do it again and with this. But
Very underused, as you say. I mean,
oh,
just for
uh,
the flashbacks and this episode one, beginning of
that's
episode. 1.
that's my notes.
Yeah,
Underused Carrie Ann Moss. Couldn't believe it. I was just like, can we can we at least like see her next season then too? And then I mean, if you're gonna put somebody that cool
yeah,
in a show, you should really use her to the max. Anyway, I just couldn't believe it. And like, did you? What did you think about the helmet scene where she puts on the helmet and she sort of disappears into her own darkness? Was that cool when Osha did that?
it was cool because that was Vader.
It
That
really
breathing,
was.
that was Vader's breathing.
Uh-huh, that was
So was that a pre? That was a what do you call it? A
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did like that bit. I did like the helmet because it looked bad, evil, but with
Uh-huh.
that sort of grin as well. It was, yeah, it works. Um,
And the
but
trouble is we never got to learn the stranger's name. What his Sith name is, because apparently they don't stick with their their erstwhile what they were named as kids. Their names come from their master, right?
well, isn't he? What's it?
Plagueis.
Plagueis is, yeah,
Yeah, so you know Darth Plagueis because of what you heard from Palpatine when he's telling Anakin all that whole story, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's when you learn about him. And then you see him in those other animated pieces, but then this is way before that. And
Mm.
I mean, he's our named character. And then this other one that we've spent all season with is Headland trying to do something like Baby Yoda Grogu type deal. I mean, that's silly because you don't have to do that with the Sith. They're
No.
named by their award. Oh, why?
Well, do we? I mean, you know more than me about the Sith names and whereabouts to come. Um,
Well, their first name is always Darth, and their
Yeah.
second name is some sort of
but is there any what hasn't been used yet?
yeah, there's lots.
So with what's his name, Plagueis. Do we know how many apprentices he had? And if so, are they all named? Because this character could be one of those.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Your point is exactly what I mean, Lee.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Because Plagueis had other apprentices,
But is
and
there any?
one
Is
of
there any?
them becomes one of them becomes Darth Sidious.
Oh, Petunias.
Yeah, one of them becomes Darth Sidious. One of them becomes this. What's his name? Queen? What? Come on, pop up for me. Come here. Come here. Come
Right.
here.
Come here.
You come here. Darth, come here. No, that's too nice.
So it could be him.
Hey, oh, it could be Darth. Come here. No, 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 you fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't even know. I mean, like that's the annoying thing is that you know with a Sith, yeah, we needed more Sith. Okay, I
Yeah.
mean, I think we're in agreement here about this. We just needed more Sith stuff.
Well,
I mean, we
yeah.
needed his
Well,
name. We needed their fighting ideas. We needed their how
well,
the
he-
how it gets
he-
inside of you and
yeah.
corrupts you.
I mean, this character who wielding the red saber um, must be a, a well-known name because he was an apprentice to
Like
the
us.
green no the green woman as well. He was the Jedi Padawan of
Oh,
Venestra the green woman because
oh,
she recognized his thoughts when he didn't have the helmet on.
yeah, yeah.
So he was a Padawan and then turned to the dark side where Plagueis
Oh, wow, that's
took
right.
over.
Good
So it
point.
must be in Star Wars lore somewhere. There's a name of
Maybe,
what we're not thinking of at the moment
yeah.
because that's the way they left it. She knew because that's why she went to see Yoda because of
Uh-huh.
him
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Yep.
to tell him he's still alive. So who is he?
Mm-hmm.
He must have some really big relevance to the
Mm-hmm.
Sith.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Um, anything else on the Acolyte? I mean, I felt like we'd been lied to.
Hmm. I'm sorry.
promise and we've been lied to. Where's the Sith? I mean, hoping they improve on the acting if there's a second season. Well, they'll have to because they killed most of the cast off.
I know, it's true. They had a really I mean, May was incredibly OP.
Mm.
I mean, her reign of terror was excellent to watch. I mean, there was a lot of super intense battle scenes and psychologically torturous scenes, but like that was her doing, not Khmer's doing. I don't know. Yeah. Well, the other thing is like Osha gaining those powers too, and you could tell that she was turning to the dark side when she grabbed that blue lightsaber and turned it on, and it turned red in her hand. I thought
Yeah.
that was really cool. That was something I guess I've been wanting to see, because I know that when Ahsoka grabbed Dooku's old lightsabers and held them, the crystals turned white. They went from red to white. So
it's inside the person what makes the color of the saber.
It changes it either bleed. It's called bleeding them or purifying them.
So why did Luke go from blue to green?
Oh, because his hand was chopped off with the blue lightsaber in it.
You've got an answer for everything.
Then he had to make another one, and actually green kyber crystals were in much more response. That's why the Death Star laser is green. I mean, those stones are like the size of a house, you know.
There is also a question, nothing to do with it's Star Wars lore. But Obi-Wan back in A New Hope, Alec Guinness, when he lets Vader win, he just vanishes. I haven't seen any other Jedi do that.
I know, and except for Yoda on Dagobah and Luke on the rock.
But what about all the other Jedi's what were killed?
I don't know.
So I've always often thought that what's the difference?
And I've been wondering if like there's a lot more, teaching that goes on, like people are discovering more stuff.
I've like reached a higher plane of Jedinism.
I know, that's a good question.
And
good question.
Yeah, I forgot about Luke in the Last Jedi, but then again, that's one movie what you want to forget.
I knew you'd say something like that.
Yeah, don't go messing with the Star Wars lore. Yeah.
And
But
we
anyway,
need more lore. We need more Sith lore. That's what we're asking, Leslie. Leslie Headland, if you're watching this review, please delve into the Sith lore.
Yeah,
please.
I just want to know if anybody's out there. I want to know, can they answer this question? Was Mary Poppins a Jedi?
That's a good question.
That's all I know.
Okay, good question.
Actually, they look like Princess Leia. Anyways, any more before we go fancy and score?
Yeah, I just wanted to also shout out this Leah Brady and Lauren Brady as the little girls, Osha and May. Those two ate the scenery right off the walls. Oh my gosh. Those two were, I mean, in terms of child actresses,
yeah,
those are actors. Those two not the scenery. They were just amazing. I liked it.
Mhm.
Those kids really rocked really hard.
It was a
And
big part for them, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So, shall we go final say and score?
Uh-huh.
Over to you.
So, I will say, I really
Ooh.
wanted this to be a lot, and I really did. It wasn't a lot, and I liked Star Wars so much. And but this is gonna get something that I have never scored a Star Wars. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I know it's I hardly ever even go that low for anything.
Welcome to the dark side, Susan.
Darth Susie over here.
Oh well, uh,
What
I've,
about you, Lee?
I've got to
Oh,
agree
and
with
I
you.
would. It's uh, 6 dead Jedi out of 10.
Oh, right. Um, I'm I'm going to give it 6.5. I totally agree with you in every aspect what you say there. Um, it promised us this and it didn't deliver. For me, the acting was quite awful. From I would say 80% of the actors in it. And it built it up and built it up to to get to the end of that season. And as I say, there's rumours that there might not be a second season because of its poor performance in viewership.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. I think the what Disney have
That
in
that is maybe a Disney issue that maybe they couldn't get that dark, but they sure as shit did when they talked about the Queen and Snow White. I mean,
uh,
I think that they're you can't get wussy at this point.
to me, I think what Disney's suffering from is overkill. They've they're just producing so much of a certain thing, be it Marvel, be it Star Wars, whatever. They're on the production line. Here's another one. Here's another one. People out there are saying, "Oh, not another one. Oh, not
Uh-huh.
another one."
Oh,
It's they will
okay.
get bored of it. Too much. Less. I would say is better.
Hmm.
Just
I,
cut,
do- I
cut.
don't I don't think I agree because of
You're just crazy. I,
the no the old shows went every week for 20 weeks or 22 weeks or even sometimes up to 30 weeks, and you had plenty of time to get to know these characters, and you liked them or you didn't like them, but there was enough of a show, enough of a run. I mean, like old Doctor Who, like I'm talking about primetime dramas and stuff like that. These shows would historically have been, on the wonderful world of Star Wars as a probably a show that would run. But you'd have a long time to get to know these characters. But these eight and done shows, you just stick your very pinky toe in and then you're out. But
yeah, well, that's how I feel. I think they are feeling that they are with Marvel produce too many movies at once, too many Star Wars at once to get the fans juices flowing. You know what I mean? There's too much to choose from. Um. Oh, anyway, yeah. So 6.5 for me. 6.5 Jedi Wookiees. Yeah, it made my day that. But yeah. So that's our review of the Acolyte. If you've seen it, you guys out there, leave a message below on this video. Let us know what you thought of it. You may think the same as us, or you may have a totally different opinion, and we welcome them. So, yeah, so just leave the message on this video, which I share out on all the social media platforms. So you'll find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and stuff like that. And if you want to join us as well, be a member of the cast, like what we're doing now, or become part of our group, just leave us a message on the video or messages on Facebook or wherever, and we'll try and get you on. You've got to be 18 plus, because some things we review or our conversation gets heated. Just be 18 plus, and also have a working camera and microphone on the device you use, and we'll have you on. Also, as well, when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure. Oh, she's got it in her hand. Make sure that you press the bell notification button, and you'll get notified every
Ding,
time.
ding.
I'll say
I
something now.
can't,
We've been doing this for so many years, and I always say on the videos, I can't hear it,
I
Susan.
can't hear it, can't hear it.
And finally,
I know you can't, but I was just trying, and now
admitted
I'm just like, to heck with it. I can admit it. You don't hear it.
but I think it's quite fun.
I just scored a Star Wars show 6. I mean, it's time to get real honest with people, okay?
Yeah.
If you can't hear the bell, even though I pull it and I stick it right near my microphone and I hit the bell and I can hear it really good in my ears, I've never heard of other videos. I'll be honest.
I tell her every week, but she never listens to me. So yeah, so that's so that's us done for this cast. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have, Susan. And I hope you guys enjoy our little get together. So until next time, may the force be with you.